So welcome to the podcast. My name is Cedric Harvey. This is Whatever the Case. Got the laptop here, we've got the sound, the mic here, and we're going to try and get into the podcast as quick as we can. Make sure we say all the right stuff. Today's topic is called unemployment rate in South Africa. So we want to get into that. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I have all the information in front of me, all the tabs are opened, because there's so much to discuss and there's so little time. So welcome to the podcast. Let's do it. Let's see what's all about. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Cedric Harvey for Whatever the Case. Today is Tuesday, the 22nd of August, 2019. I trust you guys enjoyed that first song by Stan Taylor. That's my artist right there, people. Song title is Grown. R&B vibe, it gets you in the zone. It's a Thursday evening. It's about 6:30 right now, and I prefer to do this podcast in the evening because it's so quiet, it's so peaceful in the office, all alone, by myself, ready to give you guys today's topic. So, this week's been a challenge to get the podcast out, but also to make sure that I stay to the recording of the podcast. Being that I have a full-time job, people, yes, I have a full-time job, and also the fact that I've got 3 days, which I have to make sure that I put out content on YouTube and also put out stuff for customers. So, I don't want to make excuses, but it's the real. Okay, so today's topic is, it's heavy, it's deep, it's sad at all the same time, and the topic is called South Africa's unemployment rate. Now, I know. It's supposed to be Women's Month, Cedric, and you're supposed to be talking about women. Yes, I am. I dropped the ball again. I'm really, really sorry about that. But I think this is something that we all need to talk about, because you know what? It affects every single one of us. This is the foundation right here, people, that kind of sets up what our kids are going to face. And the funny thing is, and this is so scary, is that from 2016 up until now, we've gone from 26.5% in early January 2017 to 2019 to 29% unemployment. Listen, there are more people sitting at home now than there ever have been in the history of South Africa. The other sad part is that every day we listen to the news, and I mentioned this, don't listen to the news, it's cancerous, it just eats at your fabric. But the thing is, it starts affecting you when you realize that you yourself have these issues, because either it affects your business or affects your customers, and if they don't have jobs, how are you going to make an income? So it's kind of like a knock-on effect. More companies closing doors, retrenching people, putting people off, not enough people spending money, and then what happens is we get Tuesday's conversation coming into Thursday's conversation about paras. So on Tuesday, if you haven't listened, rather, I keep on getting confused because I'm always recording videos and editing videos, either for myself or for my clients. And what happens, you tend to say, have you watched? And yet, we're on the podcast platform. This is all about audio, people, audio. By the way, this video, I do it again, this podcast is sponsored by Elevate Media. That's my company, people. And Elevate Media, we had a meeting yesterday, has proudly decided to sponsor this episode. So thank you, Elevate Media, for that. In the link, I'll drop Elevate Media. New website coming soon, by the way. Podcast going to be available on the website. Oh, yes. I'm so excited. I know that's got nothing to do about this discussion tonight, but Elevate Media is busy with a website where you could find every single podcast that we make. So we'll be able to update and let you know about those podcasts. I'm so excited because we discussed this with the web design the other day, and I am over the moon. You know, how cool is that? It just shows how much I've grown as a person, but also, more importantly, more about me growing, less about that, but how blessed I am. Let me put it like that. You know, it's not me. I want to take the focus away from me. It's not me. It's being blessed, and I want to say thank you very much for that. Okay, so if you go into some figures over here, people, it gets worse. It gets really worse. So we've got stats from 2016 all the way up to 2019. But if we have the numbers, drum roll please. Okay, no drum roll. Okay, because I don't know how that sounds. So the unemployment rate from 2000 to 2019, the highest it's ever reached was 31.20%. It's 31.20% in its first quarter of 2003. So for us to understand who was the president in 2003, because remember, a lot of people have been blaming Jacob Zuma for a lot of this stuff, but Jacob Zuma was not president in 2003, people. Let's get that straight. Nelson Mandela was president, former presidents. I'm going down the history here about former presidents in South Africa. Nelson Mandela was president from 1994 to 1999. He only served one term. Only one term. Straight after Nelson Mandela, the next president was Thabo Mbeki from 1999 to 2008. Okay, now also let's quickly unpack this. Nelson Mandela, I know he studied, I think he was a lawyer. You can let me know in the comments if I'm incorrect. And I know that Thabo Mbeki also studied, I think he was a businessman. I also could be needing correction over there. And what I understand, in 2003, unemployment was an issue. Was a humongous issue. And if we take it a step further, the reason why it could have been that unemployment rate was so high then in 2003 is that we have to go back, people, to skills and development and opportunities for people. Were there enough opportunities? Were people being educated? Was our education system working that time? You know, were we still transitioning into the so-called today 25 years of democracy? These are things we need to think about. This is what we need to understand. We can't just put it, you know, simple as black and white. You know, there's just this huge amounts of gray in between. You know, sometimes I think it's about skill and development and training, and also having an opportunity to teach people trade so that they can actually do something. You know, somebody once said to me, and give a man a fish for today, he eats for today, but teach a man how to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. But what happens if we have a lot of people looking for fish and no fishermen? You know, because you need a lot of people looking for fish. So in 2003, it was a highest of 31.2% in the first quarter. So coming straight out of New Year's 2002 into 2003, unemployment was like, wow. People looking for jobs. And then at the end of 2008, it dropped to 21.5%. That's a humongous drop. So obviously there was some sort of investment there in people getting jobs, you understand? And, you know, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, right? The unemployment rate in South Africa has increased to 29% in the second quarter of 2019 from 27.6% the previous period. The highest jobless rate since the first quarter of 2003. So from 2003 it's 31%, this is 31%, right? And then now to 29% people. You know, it's almost as close as 31. 2% more is 31% again. You know, so listen, you know, we can't just say our current president Cyril Ramaphosa is to blame. If you look at it from Nelson Mandela to Thabo Mbeki to Cyril Ramaphosa, there's this trend. It's not just black and white. And I think that we can't blame the president and the government all the time about unemployment. I'm going to say from the private sector, what I've noticed is that generally sometimes you get people that you want to employ that have an ignorant mindset. Now, this is with a pinch of salt. You need to take this with a pinch of salt, because it's not every single person. There are some people who want to live that Instagram life. You know those Photoshop pictures on Instagram that make you look super, super nice? and in reality you've got to put a humongous amount of foundation and a weave and a whole lot of other stuff to look like that, then that's not you. You can't expect a job and you want to get paid X amount for not enough work done. I'm sorry, I don't know where you want to work, but in my private sector you cannot work like that. That for me is unfortunate. Can't live like that. I'm sorry. We don't have that type of money in 2019, people. Money is scarce. We need to keep that money for ourselves. So I decided, you know what, I need a bit more numbers to this. Okay, I need to make more sense of this. What are we talking in terms of population wise here? Okay, so I went to Google and I googled some stuff, right? The number of unemployed people, right, advanced by 455,000 to 6.6 million. Okay, I don't know if you guys understand what I just said there. The number of unemployed advanced by 455,000 to 6.6 million from 6.2 million in the first quarter. People, that's a lot of people that are unemployed right now. That's a lot of people right now. The labor force also increased by 467,000 to 22.9 million from 22.4 million from the previous quarter. So kind of have a balance over there. So like not much has changed, but a lot's changed, if that makes any sense. I know that we divide our year into 4 quarters and this is how the stats come out, but I also found some other information that also might scare you as well. The unemployment rate, according to these stats in the world, and check this out. I don't know if it's on purpose that they put South Africa right in the top, so it's like South Africa has one of the most high, in fact it is the highest unemployed rate in the world. South Africa's unemployment rate currently stands at 29%. Previous quarter 27.6%, and the highest 31.20%. The lowest it's ever been is 21.5%. Unemployed persons is this is thousand, right? 665,000 people. The previous one 620,000 people. And the lowest it's ever been is 387,000 people. You know, so that's it. And then the average wages, it has average wages, it has manufacturing, population. It went into the world, like, you know, they did the world stats. Okay, so we've got Europe, Spain, Turkey, Brazil, Argentina, Italy, France, India, Canada, Saudi Arabia, Australia, Indonesia, Russia, South Korea, and so on. It's quite a lot here. Listen to this, people. South Africa is 29%, like you know, in the discussion. Spain is 14%. Turkey is 12.8%. Brazil is 12%. Argentina is 10.10%. Italy is 9.7%. France 8.5%. Europe area 7.5%. Guys, we look bad. We look really bad. Either two things are really happening here. One, we have lazy people, or the situation is worse than we think. How can we be number 1 in the world for unemployment? If there's any constellation, right, Spain's worst unemployment rate was 26%. Does that make us feel better, South Africans? Argentina also had one of their highest, was 28%. And Italy's worst unemployment rate was 13%. Sure. Russia, worst unemployment rate 14%, but their unemployment rate currently is 4.5%. Gosh, you know, you always see these people in the Russian movies, these spies and these guys that, you know, like, you know, they've got these voices like they're gonna like end the world. 4.5%. These Russians want to work, or it might be really cold in Russia and they just want to work, you know. I don't know. people, these are the stats. And I want to end it on a light note and say, you know what? In some way, we all can make it a bit different. In some way, we can all make it a little bit easier to live in our country. Simple solution is just employ as many people as you can. Okay? No, I'm just joking. I don't know what the government's gonna do. I don't know what we can do as a country. But I can tell you one thing: if we can fix this unemployment rate, we can put some real strong people to work. Give them some money, put some money in their pockets, you know? Share some of this money that we're making. That's my 2 cents worth. This is whatever the case. My name's Cedric Harvey. I'm going to end on a song from Stan Taylor, which I've linked in the bottom, in the description, YouTube channel. Go and check him out. Check his music. The song is called Can't Take My Eyes Off You. It's a cover, you know, and I like his covers because they're so mellow. They've got this vibe to them. It doesn't sound like the original, but I trust you guys will have a fantastic weekend. Friday. Tomorrow's Friday, baby! That's gonna be awesome because it's a short day for us. And it's the start of the weekend. So I trust you have a fantastic weekend. Remember to be honest, be kind, never give up. Always be yourself. And whatever the case. See you guys next week, Tuesday. My name is Cedric Harvey. Peace out.